share my mind and you don't die. Today's teaching is the definition of healing. The process of psychotherapy then can be defined simply as forgiveness. For no healing can be anything else. The unforgiving are sick, believing they are unforgiven. The hanging on to guilt, it's hanging close and sheltering, it's loving protection and alert defense. All this is but the grim refusal to forgive. God may not enter here, the sick repeat over and over, while they mourn their loss and yet rejoice in it. Healing occurs as a patient begins to hear the dirge he sings and questions its validity. Until he hears it, he cannot understand that it is he who sings it to himself. To hear it is the first step in recovery. To question it must then become his choice. There is a tendency, and a very strong, it is very strong to hear this song of death only an instant and then dismiss it uncorrected. These fleeting awarenesses represent the many opportunities given us literally to change our tune. The sound of healing can be heard instead, but first, the willingness to question the truth of the song of condemnation must arise. The strange distortions woven inextricably into the self-concept itself, but a pseudo-creation, make this ugly sound seem truly beautiful. The rhythm of the universe, the herald angel's song, all these and more are heard instead of loud, discordant shrieks. The ear translates, it does not hear. The eye reproduces, it does not say. Their task is to make agreeable whatever is called on, however disagreeable it may be. They answer the decisions of the mind, reproducing its desires and translating them into acceptable and pleasant forms. Sometimes the thought behind the form breaks through, but only very briefly, and the mind grows fearful and begins to doubt its sanity. Yet it will not permit its slaves to change the forms they look upon, the sounds they hear. These are its remedies, its safeguards from insanity. These testimonies which the senses bring have but one purpose: to justify attack and thus keep unforgiveness unrecognized for what it is. Sin undisguised, it is intolerable. Without protection it could not endure. Here is all sickness cherished, but without the recognition that this is so. For when an unforgiveness is not recognized, the form it takes seems to be something else. And now, it is the something else that seems to terrify, but it is not the something else that can be healed. It is not sick and needs no remedy. To concentrate your healing efforts here is but futility. Who can cure what cannot be sick and make it well? Sickness takes many forms, and so does unforgiveness. The forms of one but reproduce the forms of the other. For the other same illusion, so closely is one translated into the other, that a careful study of the form a sickness takes will point quite clearly to the form of unforgiveness that it represents. Yet, seeing this will not effect a cure. That is achieved by only one recognition, that only forgiveness heals an unforgiveness, and only an unforgiveness can possibly give rise to sickness of any kind. This realization is the final goal of psychotherapy. How is it reached? The therapist sees in the patient all that he has not forgiven in himself and is thus given another chance to look at it, open it to re-evaluation and forgive it. When this occurs, he sees his sins as gone into a past that is no longer here. Until he does this, he must think of evil as besetting him here and now. The patient is his screen for the projection of his sins, enabling him to let them go. Let him retain one spot of sin in what he looks upon, and his release is partial and will not be sure. No one is healed alone. This is the joyous song salvation sings to all who hear its voice. This statement cannot be too often remembered by all who see themselves as therapists. Their patients can but be seen as the bringers of forgiveness, for it is they who come to demonstrate their sinlessness to eyes that still believe that sin is there to look upon. Yet, will the proof of sinlessness, seen in the patient and accepted in the therapist, offer the mind of both a covenant in which they meet and join in as one?